Hi, this is Chris Reddick with Chris Reddick Financial Planning. This blog post I talk about Roth conversion timing. Should educators rush or take it slow? If you're an educator with a hefty 403B or 457 balance, you probably heard about Roth conversions. But here's a $1 million question that keeps coming up in my practice. Should you convert everything at once and rip off the Band-Aid, or take it slow over several years? I'm Chris Reddick, an educator turned financial planner, and today I'm breaking down the recent research that actually tells us about the critical retirement decision. Here's why this matters more than ever. With the new One Big Beautiful Bill passed in 2025, we've got enhanced standard deduction, new seniors deductions, and a change in the SALT state and local tax caps. For teachers and public service professionals approaching retirement, the timing of your Roth conversions could literally save you tens of thousands in taxes. But the research gives us a surprisingly honest answer. It depends. Let me show you what it depends on. The one approach is the big early approach. Academic studies love this one. Convert large amounts early. Let tax-free growth work its magic for decades. It works beautifully if you have plenty of taxable savings to pay for the tax bill and expect higher tax rates if you expect higher tax rates in retirement. But the catch is you have to pay the tax bill, and you typically pay for that outside of the Roth conversion. The slow and steady approach spreads conversions over multiple years, staying within favorable tax brackets annually, so you're not wasting tax brackets. This is often more practical for educators because, let's be honest, most of us don't have huge piles of cash sitting around to pay massive tax bills. Here's what the research really shows. A gradual approach gives you flexibility when new tax laws change, coordinates better with pension income, and prevents you from accidentally launching yourself in higher tax brackets. For educators specifically, I typically recommend what I call bracket management. Look at your current tax situation, convert just enough each year to fill up your target tax bracket. That could be 10 or 12 or 22% without going over. Consider your pension timeline as well. If your pension doesn't start till full retirement, you might have a perfect low-income window in your early 60s for strategic Roth conversions. And here's something most teachers don't realize. If you have large 403 balance, required minimum distributions start at 73 or 75, can push you into a surprisingly higher tax bracket later in retirement. Strategic Roth conversions now can prevent that surprise. So what is the bottom line? For most educators, I work with a measured approach of annual conversions that fill up the favorable tax brackets tends to work best rather than the one-time large Roth conversion. It's not as mathematically perfect as a giant conversion, but it's much more forgiving when life happens. I hope you have a great day. This is Chris Reddick.